Love-inspired suspense and HarperAudio present Mountain Country K-9 Books 7-9, featuring Tracing a Killer by Sharon Dunn, performed by Megan Tusing. Search and Detect by Terry Reed, performed by Tanya Eby. And Christmas K-9 Guardians, featuring Perilous Christmas Pursuit by Lenora Worth, performed by Monica Plant, and Lethal Holiday Hideout by Katy Lee, performed by Leonore Woodworth. Tracing a Killer.
Behold, I will do a new thing. Now it shall spring forth. Shall ye not know it? I will even make a way in the wilderness, and rivers in the desert. Isaiah, chapter 43, verse 19. For my beloved dog, Bart, the nervous border collie, who was my best friend for over 13 years. I'm so glad you were a part of my life. I miss you every day. 1. From the moment she turned onto the causeway that led to the island where Antelope State Park was, a feeling of unease settled around Utah Highway Patrol Officer Hannah Scott. As if sensing the drop in mood, her K-9, a male Newfoundland named Captain, groaned from the back seat of the patrol car. This anxiety wasn't about the job she'd come here to do as a member of the Mountain Country K-9 team. This was about the past, the tragedy that had happened when she was 10. Her stomach clenched as flat land, straight road, and expansive sky stretched before her. Images of the mountains and trees were reflected in the lake on either side of the 7-mile causeway. Such beautiful scenery normally would have created a feeling of serenity in her. Instead, she was having a hard time shaking the sense of dread. The sun was low on the horizon. She'd already put in a full day with the highway patrol. She gripped the steering wheel tighter and spoke out loud. "Come on, Hannah. Focus on the assignment that brought you back here." Captain let out a muted yip of support, saying a silent prayer that God would help her do the job she'd been given with the Mountain Country K-9 unit. She concentrated on her driving. The task force had been formed with members of law enforcement from across the Rocky Mountain states to catch a serial killer, dubbed the Rocky Mountain Killer. 10 years ago, 3 young men under the age of 20, all members of the now disbanded Young Ranchers Club, had been killed in Elk Valley, Wyoming on Valentine's Day. The case had gone cold until recently. 3 new victims, all from Elk Valley but now living in other states, had been murdered with the same M.O., shot at close range in a barn. The new shootings had started on Valentine's Day, less than 7 months ago. The murder weapon had never been found, but matching 9mm slugs had been located at all the crime scenes. The task force had narrowed down the suspects to 2 men who had motive. Ryan York's sister, Shelley, had committed suicide after being dumped by Seth Jenkins, one of the initial victims. It could be that Ryan saw Seth's friends as equally culpable. Because of the young men's reputations for using women and dumping them, Ryan's desire to right an injustice had spilled over to targeting other members of the club. Ryan owned a Glock 17, which could have been used in the shootings. The second suspect was Evan Carr. His sister, Naomi, who had recently married one of the K-9 team members, had been the butt of a cruel joke 10 years ago. When one of the members of the YRC, Trevor Gage, had asked her to a formal dance the club sponsored, Trevor's friends had ridiculed her, saying she'd been invited as a prank. In interviews, Trevor had sworn that he actually had liked Naomi and hadn't intended it as a joke. Hannah had read the transcript of the interviews the team had done with Trevor. She had no idea if he was telling the truth or not. 10 years ago, the members of the club were known for being troublemakers and having a love 'em and leave 'em reputation with the young women in Elk Valley. Why should Trevor be any different than the young men he'd run with? She'd met her share of that type of guy. Her sympathy was with
Sample complete. Ready to continue?